Hey everyone, it's 4 a.m. and I wish I could say it gets easier waking up this early. I've been doing it for, I don't know, a year. And I can tell you some days it does. You're motivated, and other days it's just like, oh my god. What am I doing with my life? Especially when the sun is not coming up as early as it once was. But in any case, just getting my tea going, and then we will get this run started. Great, so my tea is done. I am feeling much better. I started a new kind of morning routine in terms of doing push-ups, pull-ups, along with some chin-ups and sit-ups. Nothing crazy, nothing to make me sore, as I'm trying to do it every day for the next 30 days, just to help out with my overall core and just to help wake me up a bit more in the morning as well. So yeah, my tea is done. Normally what I do is I take that and then I put it into a liter mason jar, and then I fill that up with water, just so it cools it down so I can drink it faster. And I've always drank in a liter of water as soon as I wake up for as long as I can remember. So anyways, I'm gonna do that and then get dressed and get out. Today is a speed session. So it's gonna be tough, but I will have an update for you once I am done. And I'm back. Finished the speed session. It was very tough. That was my first speed session where I'm doing shorter intervals. Now that I've completed the Ironman 70.3, that kind of took away from some of the running and the speed training. So now I have refocused on the speed training, which is going to help me reach, or hopefully reach, my half marathon goal, which we will talk about here shortly. I'm just gonna stretch. I stretch after every run no matter what. I'm just on my yoga mat here. I'm gonna have some more green tea to keep that going, and then I will give you a few more updates here shortly. Stay tuned. And I'm back. Showered, fresh, hair is styled perfectly, and I'm ready to get today started. So as the title said, I'm on the quest over the next 4 weeks to try to shave about 9 minutes off of my half marathon time and bring that down from 1:39 to 1:30, which is likely unrealistic and going to be a very big challenge, as last year it was really tough getting to 1:39. But to be fair, I'm in much better running shape this year, so I should be able to get down into the low 130s. 130 or 130 in general is a stretch, but that's one thing I found: when you set big goals and don't sell yourself short, you're going to aim much higher and probably reach closer to that goal, or if you're lucky, get to it, or even if you're luckier, exceed that goal as well. So that's my plan. One thing that I've been doing is logging all of my workouts this year. There's two things for that. One is you have a way to measure if you're getting faster with a lot of the speed training and your longer runs. And then also for just tracking if you have an injury, you can look back and see maybe what might have caused that injury. Was I stretching? Were there symptoms leading up to it? I make notes on all that stuff, which I found has helped me greatly. So yeah, I'll just kind of show you those notes to give you a reference point, and then just show you some of the things I've tracked in the past as well. So let's take a look. Great, so today is the 8th, and you can see that I had my speed training session. So I did a 4-kilometer warm-up at an average pace of 5:15, and then we did 12 300-meter sets at an average pace of 1:04 per set, with 45-second rest in between. It was over 3 kilometers with an average pace of 3:28. And then I did about a 1.5 kilometer cool down. I found doing cool down runs to be really beneficial after doing a hard speed training session, simply because it just seems to help with recovery. And then I always stretch after. And then if we look back as well, so this is going back to April. It's almost like a little time machine. So if you look on Thursday, the 11th of April, I had done a speed session as well, and my average pace was about 57 seconds. So you can see I've slowed down a little bit, which is to be expected, as I haven't been doing any of the speed training for shorter intervals leading up to this Ironman I just did. And shout out to my physiotherapist, Mo. I had apparently seen him that day. And then looking back earlier into the year, in January, you can see as well where I was starting to get some pain in my groin area, and then I didn't necessarily listen to that, and then I'd realized the next day that something was clearly wrong as well. So then again, I just tracked that stuff, and then I tracked the recovery process as well. So those are all things that I can reference. Great. So I found it very beneficial to track all that stuff for reasons I've already noted. I'd highly recommend you do it as well. Of course, the pen and paper is a bit old school. My GPS watch doesn't have Bluetooth in it, because you can get a lot of really good programs where it automatically connects and uploads all your results. But one of the other perks of, again, just using a pen and paper is I'll track other things as well that are maybe not necessarily related to my workouts, if I'm having a really good day, a bad day, or just things like that. I mean, I don't have a lot of drama in my life, so whenever something does come up, it's fun to write it down and kind of look back at that. But yeah, as I said before, my goal is going to be very aggressive leading up to this race. I just wanted to document it for all of you fine folks and just show you that a lot of this stuff definitely is possible if you put in the work. I think my first half marathon was, 4 or 5 years ago, and it took me just over 2.5 hours to complete that. And then over the years, I was able to slowly bring that down. And then my full marathon, my first one was 6 hours. That was torture. And then I was able to bring that down to 5 hours, and then I think 4:58. And then I actually hired a running coach back in, I think, November or December, Ted Gilletta. Shout out to Ted, he's great. And he was able to help me shave over an hour and a half off of that, and bring my marathon time down to 3 hours and 24 minutes, which I'm very grateful for, so thank you very much. And that's one of the benefits of having a running coach, is I was able to text Ted if I was ever having challenges. He was able to give me some guidance, and of course put together a plan for me to go out there and execute that. And then as things come up as well, he was able to make adjustments on that plan. And having a plan is always a good thing. And then my last note is really in terms of my goal. Obviously, some people would probably say that it's a bit unrealistic, as it was really tough for me to get down to that 139. But one thing I found in life is when you set really big goals, chances are you'll sometimes get lucky and you'll reach that goal, or maybe even exceed it if you're really lucky. But 9 times out of 10, you'll come very close to that. Whereas if you set a goal that's maybe a bit easier to get, 9 times out of 10, you'll reach that goal. But then sometimes you can sell yourself short. So that's why I always say with anything in life, try to aim as high as you can. George St. Pierre once said, if people aren't laughing at your goals and your dreams, that they probably aren't big enough. As well. So yeah, I hope to, I'm not sure how regular the uploads are going to be. I want to have at least a few kind of leading up to the race, just so we can all celebrate my victory together if I actually can get there, or you can all laugh at me and say that I was way too unrealistic at the end of the race, which is I think 4 weeks from now. So about 4 solid weeks to hopefully gain some speed and see if that is possible, and kind of go from there. So thanks for tuning in. And for everyone, hopefully this will help you get off your butt today and kind of get out there and maybe go for a run. And for those of you who are already moving your body, good job. And I hope everyone has a great day. Until next time.